So it looks like the case against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears has been dismissed by the accusers, and they are now speaking out. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So it was just this morning that we were reporting to you about Tiffany Haddish possibly reaching a settlement with the accusers of that weird, odd, comedic skit. And I agree with all of you in the comment section of that video. Ain't nothing funny about that video. So we told you about that story that apparently Tiffany Haddish knew the children, Jane and John Doe, in this lawsuit for many years. She knew the family, and she allegedly told the parents that she was taking the children on auditions, but were actually filming these horrendous skits. If you missed the video that I did earlier today on this, be sure to check that out. But in that video, I told you that according to these court documents, it appeared that Jane and John Doe's family, the ones that were bringing this lawsuit, mind you, John Doe is still a minor. This is part of the reason why they reached this deal of not having the case be open to the public. So they had reached a deal and they said that they were open to a settlement. Well, now TMZ has the exclusive confirmation that this lawsuit against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, so Aries Spears is probably like, oh God, I'm glad I don't have to worry about this anymore. You do, because people are still side-eyeing Aries and Tiffany Haddish. So this is what they're reporting in regards to the dismissal, and the accusers are speaking out. Specifically, Jane Doe is speaking out. So they say Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears are no longer fighting this lawsuit against them because we've learned that Jane Doe, who filed the suit, has now dismissed it for good. All right? So per the court documents, TMZ reports the plaintiff asked the judge to dismiss the case with prejudice. We're learning. We're all becoming lawyers on this YouTube channel because we learned with Nene's lawsuit, without prejudice means that she could refile it again. We had a conversation about this with B. Scott on their podcast recently, and B. Scott talked about their lawsuit with BET a little bit. If you missed it, check out that podcast. So we talked about that, and B. Scott expressed why they believe that the Nene lawsuit, she didn't get anything from it. Because if it was a true settlement, it would be working out the way that it's working out with this Tiffany Haddish situation. So they say, per the new court docs obtained by TMZ, the plaintiff asked the judge to dismiss the case with prejudice, meaning it cannot be refiled again. You'll recall the case involves allegations that the two comedians groomed and, for lack of a better word, the M word, the two children several years ago, okay? The woman who sued both of them has also issued a statement, and this is what she says. My family and I have known Tiffany Haddish for many years, and we now know that she would never harm me or my brother or help anyone else do anything that could harm us. We wish Tiffany the best and are glad that we can put all of this behind us. So these are the elements of a settlement that we're missing from the Nene situation. They're issuing a statement to help Tiffany's career because these allegations have been damning. And then the video footage was made available on Twitter. And a lot of people are looking at Tiffany and Aries like, what? How would you think this was funny? They go on to say that Jane Doe did not have anything to say about Aries in her remarks, who was also accused of some pretty heinous stuff in the suit. But he also is in the clear. In the lawsuit, the alleged victim claimed that both her and her younger brother were used by Tiffany and Aries to film scenes or skits that, when looking back, were wildly inappropriate, which Jane Doe suggested was meant to sexualize them. At first, Tiffany and Aries called the whole thing a shakedown, vowing to prove their innocence. However, Tiffany Haddish later said that she regretted being a part of the sketch. And as I reported in the first video in regards to this story, one of the things that they wanted out of this case was for Tiffany to pull back in regards to some of the things that she was saying, that this was some sort of shakedown from Jane and John Doe in this lawsuit. But more than likely, because this has reached a dismissal, they reached a settlement. Because in the last report, I told you that the family said that they were open to a settlement now. So they must have reached some sort of monetary settlement, allegedly. I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming for them to close this out. And now it clears Tiffany and Aries. I think the damage is done. I think Tiffany will be able to move on and have a career after this. Look, people have poor judgment, but this is a whole level of poor judgment I just can't even fathom. But now we can move on? I don't know. I don't know if we can move on. I think, if anything, no one's been checking for Aries Spears for a very long time. Tiffany Haddish has been on the up and up. I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany is the one paying for this settlement just to make this go away. She has a lot of things coming up. Girls Trip 2 is supposedly happening. She doesn't need this dark cloud over her career. But like I said before, I don't think these Black Twitter or people that are fans of hers are going to forget this, especially after seeing the video for themselves. It's like, why? First of all, this was a family friend, and you allegedly told the family that you were bringing them on auditions, but in actuality, you were bringing them into this environment to create these weird videos that weren't even funny. Like, who thought of this? Who was the creator behind this? What would make you think that this is funny? From the title alone to what played out in these videos. Some of the stuff I can't even get into because of YouTube guidelines. They had a pretty strong case. And allegedly, they've been working with Tiffany and Aries' team on negotiating some sort of settlement before this became public, allegedly. But it was until it became public did Tiffany and Aries' teams finally come to some sort of settlement. And here we are now talking about the dismissal. Guys, as always, I want to know your reaction to this. We're not surprised. As I said to you before, I'm surprised it all happened within the day, honestly, because we just reported on this update this morning in regards to them coming to a deal to seal this case. But I knew a settlement was on the way because the family had said we are open to a settlement. And some people might call it a shakedown still, but we can't deny that those children in these videos were children. I don't know if the parents did know. I don't know. What we do know, Aries and Tiffany were in this video and they created these things and they were adults. And it was not that long ago. I'll never understand it. Will you? Are you surprised at the outcome of this dismissal and what the Jane Doe the accuser is saying? Let's continue that conversation below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.